Welcome to All Horse Racing All the Time, where we bring you fresh, new horse racing information every single day. I'm Alan, your host, and here we're going to be taking a look at the Wood Memorial Stakes running on Saturday, April 5th, 2025 at Aqueduct Racetrack. It's a Kentucky Derby prep race, 100 points to the winner, 50 to second. We're going to take a look at all of the entries, what I think they're going to do, and also how I will be playing this race. Bets I'll be constructing. This is what I'm going to do. And I think this is going to be a tremendous race for some betting opportunities. I like what I see here. We're going to go through it. But first, coffee. Today's coffee, Nikeo, fresh start. It matches the day. It's a medium roast and very smooth. Perfect. Fresh start. Fits the bill here. Recording this early in the morning. Excellent. All right, let's jump into it. Wood Memorial. What makes this race interesting? Well, there's a lot of early speed signed on, possibly 6 horses that are going to be running for the front, right? Who's going to stand out of those? We're going to take a look at that. And also, so it might set something up for the closers. And it's almost, it literally is a who's who of trainers, top trainers in this race. We have, of course, we have Bob Baffert shipping Rodriguez in. We have Rick Dutro, Derby winner with Big Brown. He has a couple of entries in this race. We have Todd Pletcher trying to gain entry to the Kentucky Derby. We have Bill Mott with an entry. We have, I'm telling you what, we have even Saffie Joseph Jr. coming in. Big shot over at who's who of trainers over here. But let's get into it. What I'm going to what I'm using here to break down these horses and give you the information, why I like a horse, why I don't. I'm using 2 sources of data here for this video. I actually have a third as well, but we're going to keep it to 2. I'm using the Brisnet, and I'm also Brisnet PPs, and I'm also using the sheets. I'm using Thorograph for coming up, talking about these races, why I like these horses and why I don't. Okay, so let's bring up the PPs here, and we'll start from the beginning, a little bit about the race. Now, the Wood Memorial, 11 Kentucky Derby winners have come out of the Wood Memorial, and I believe we have a shot maybe to get a Derby winner out of this race, and I'll tell you what which ones. Now, this is a G2, and it's going to be, it's at 1.125 miles. Now, not many of these, a couple of these in here have experience at the 1.125 miles, stretching out, that extra, every little bit of distance. We'll see who are the ones, because the Derby being 1.25 miles, who can stand the test of time and who can hang around. Okay, so this is 1.125 miles, 750K, 100 points to the winner, 50 to second. We got a big field, 25 for third, and 15 fourth, 10 for fifth. And some of these here are really on the bubble. And we'll begin with the first one right off the bat. What do I think of this one? This is Rodriguez. Bob Baffert comes into town. When Bob ships a horse east, he means business. This is one that's been running at Del Mar. Rodriguez opens as the chalk at 5-2. 5-2. Bob Baffert. Mike Smith, Hall of Famer Mike Smith, no stranger to big races. He comes in to ride back. He used to be a regular jockey here at the NYRA circuit, very, top jock over here in New York. And now, of course, everyone knows him mostly for what he performs in the big races, Triple Crown winner. Anyway, so he's in, and he's in on Rodriguez for Bob. Opens at 5-2. What do I think of this one? Now, this is one of the front runners. Now, remember I said there are about 6, possibly 7 front runners in this race. Okay, so and this one figures to be one of them. He is only, from his Authentic into Mischief. He has Kiala out of Cherokee Run. Now, this one, by the breeding, you figure this one would be more or less a perennial type front runner. He hasn't been doing that. He has went to the front in his first 2 races at the first call. And his second race, a mile at Santa Anita, a repeat of that race. He hasn't come back to that one since. Okay, and where he wired the field, winning by 7, throwing up a 97 Brisnet. Okay, opens as the favorite. What do I think about this one? Longest he went in the San Felipe, where he finished 11 lengths behind Journalism. and almost the same, 10 lengths, 9.5 behind Barnes. And he's going to need some points to get in the Derby. Most likely, maybe a third place finish can get him in, depending on how the points shape up. Second will definitely get him in. And he gets the rail. He has the speed. They're going to have to send him. They're going to have to send this one to get at least the second position worked out. He's worked well on the 29th of March, 5th of 42, but a 59-3 at Santa Anita. Now, remember, at Santa Anita, very fast track. Some of these workouts tend to reflect more quickly than they would if they were at a slower track. But anyway, working well. Opens at 5-2, early speed. What do I think? Here's the thing with this one. Are they going to send him? Are they holding him back? I'm not sure if he's going to be quick enough to grab the lead. There are others in here that to this point have run faster fractions earlier. I see the 5-2 as I don't believe he should be favored. You know, I'm going to the sheet numbers here. By the sheet numbers, he's been running in his best couple of races were in the 4 range, and the lower the number, the faster the race, and he's coming out of a 6. So he actually regressed a little bit in the last race at 1 mile and 16th as far as the speed goes. Now, for playing this race, it's very important that I talk about where I see these horses finishing in the race, because I believe the strength of this race lies in some prices we can get. I'm thinking a trifecta is the way to go in this race, trifecta or even super. So I'm going to be keeping you abreast of where I believe these horses are going to finish. Now, by the numbers here, I see others have been running faster than Rodriguez. I think he hasn't run on the track. We don't know how he's going to take to it. Sometimes they send these West Coast talents in here, and they come into New York and explode. And I remember a West Coast horse that was trained by Rick Dutro, brought in this horse of Want Revenge, for example. And by the numbers and by the speed figures, sheet numbers, I think he ran in the he wound up winning the Gotham in the Wood. I believe it was in 2009. And he came in here and he didn't really look like the fastest horse, and he just exploded. Wound up winning. He had been running on the West Coast, and now he comes in here into New York, and he winds up winning the Gotham, and then also goes on and he wins the Wood. He winds up with Joe Tallamore riding. He winds up being the favorite in the Derby, and then scratches out of the Derby right before the Derby. What a horrible break. Is Rodriguez going to be similar to that, coming in from the West Coast? Well, you have really top talent out there. They don't run as many entries in the races, but what they do is they have really solid talent. I mean, look what's coming in out there this year training. Journalism, Citizen Bull, Barnes, and Rodriguez, one of the big names also. So he's coming in. What do I think he can do? I see his ceiling as second place. I don't see him coming in and winning this race. I'm more inclined to think of this one maybe for third or below, pushing it for second. I'll tell you how I'm going to be playing this, and how I'm going to be constructing the trifecta. So for now, Rodriguez, I see his ceiling as second place in this race. Okay, and that's out of Baffert with Mike Smith. Now we're going to go down to number 2. Now that's Rodriguez, also 485K horse. Okay, Captain Cook comes in here very lightly raced. What I love about, he got Rick Dutro. Rick Dutro really handling this horse since he's trained it. This one's 2 for 2. It had been previously trained by Mark Casse. Opens as a second choice is 7-2. I see this one. I'll jump out right out front and I say I see this one as the most likely winner in the race. Definitely a win play. And if we get 7-2 on him, I would be absolutely shocked. I wouldn't be surprised if he winds up being the favorite, post-time favorite between the Dutro and connections and New York money. And what Rick is known to be able to do. He wins 32% at this track. Okay, going back 106 races. He has Manny Franco up, just won another title, a riding title for the last meet. Wins 23% here at Aqueduct, the Big A. Captain Cook 2 for 2 on the track, 1 for 1 at the distance. You know this one can get the distance, and he's a close stalking type. Look at him last race. He hung around, running third at the first call by a length. Third at the first call, a neck back. So he's kind of involved, right? It's not like he's and then in the stretch, he opened it up by 1, and he wins at 1 1/8 by 2 1/4, putting up 100 Brisnet. But what I love about this, when you take it even a step further and go to the sheet numbers, this one has run a sheet number the last race, comes off of a 2, which puts him right in the mix with all the other top Derby contenders. For example, Citizen Bull has never run that fast on the sheets before. Journalism just once. Okay, so this one by the numbers fits, by the connections fits, by the training fits, out of Practical Joke. Winner of the, you get the name of the race. Winner of the Withers Stakes here, so he has Derby points. Third place, second probably will be good enough. He's looking for a second or better, and I believe Rick is going to make sure he gets that one back. He's his big Derby hopeful to get in there. And Rick, since serving a 10-year suspension in less than a year back, he won the Breeders' Cup Classic with White Barrio. Now here he is looking to get back to the Derby again. He wants to be in the spotlight. The Babe. And the Babe is back. This is his big horse. This one moving forward, I like that he can be able to stalk. He's never taken the lead in any of his races through the first couple of calls. Fits it 2 for 2 here, 1 for 1 at the distance. Comes off a bullet on April 5th here at Aqueduct. Won first of 7, 48-1. Top win contender, Captain Cook. Now I want to go down to number 3. Bill Mott. Okay, Bill Mott, you love Bill Mott. Everybody does. Never ran in a stakes race. His sheet numbers are horrific. They're not even ballpark. I wouldn't be surprised if this one finishes last. But let's just put opens 30-1. I'm not going to kill time on this. Complete toss. Did win a 5-length race at Gulfstream. Hasn't raced on the track. Never raced at 1 1/16. Number's too slow. 88, 83. Get him out of here. Right. Number 4, Carlos Martin. Did run a nice race here at Aqueduct. Actually, his best race, he finished 4th. He was whipped by the next horse. We're going to be talking about Sand Devil by the numbers. We're going to go to My Matoli, 20-1. Luis Rivera up. Maybe at the best, and I'd be hesitant to go there. He has been improving every race. He is getting blinkers for this race, My Matoli. And what he did show last race here on this track was a little bit better early speed. So I kind of see him being mixing it up. I don't like that at a mile. He faded, and that Sand Devil beat him. Finish. Oh, geez. I'd say not. I'm looking at a trifecta. No way. Get him out of there. But he's going to be part of the pace. So that's what makes this a little interesting. Now we're going to go down to number 5, Sand Devil. And by the third graph, he's a little slower than the others as well. Moving forward, maybe if you want to mess around with him in your supers, yeah, maybe you get him in there at a price. Now we're going to go down to Sand Devil. Now, Sand Devil, we got another trainer in here. He wins so many trainer titles here on the New York circuit. Has even won a trainer title at Saratoga. Linda Rice, but she enters so many horses, and a lot of them are, lower level horses. A ton of entries all the time, so it's not like she's the most dominant trainer. But she runs a lot of races where the big names aren't around, so she racks some victory. Always respectable though. Always. Here she has a 23% winning percentage at Aqueduct, going back 320 races. Gets her go-to guy, Jose Lizcano, on Sand Devil, number 5, opening at 8-1. This one is a front runner. Speed of the Speed. Head came into the Gotham undefeated, and last race in the Gotham, stumbled out of the gate and still had to rush back into it. Now, that was at a mile and did get beaten by Flood Zone, who is running in the AUB Derby over in Dubai, same day as this Wood Memorial, April 5th. He's a 9-5 favorite over there. I think he's vulnerable over there at 9-5. Anyway, did lose to Flood Zone despite opening as a 1.45 favorite. Bad stumble. Still had to, race to get back into it. And still, despite the stumble and everything else, still managed to finish second in that race. Without the stumble, I believe that one probably would have won the race. Probably would have beaten Flood Zone. Has run here 4 races, has won 3 of them with a second place finish. And this one does close pretty well. If you look at its energy rations on the Brisnet, 92, 111, 91, 93. Those are good closing kicks, okay, even for closers. And this one has the early speed to boot. So Sand Devil at 8-1, I see this as just a little bit below Captain Cook, Dutro's Captain Cook, but I like this one either for first or second as well. 8-1. Linda trying to punch her ticket to the Derby. She's looking for at least a second place finish here to give it a good shot. And maybe even third is good enough, depending on how these prep races shake out and who qualifies. And then, of course, there's scratches out of the Derby, before the Derby. So the horses below the top 20 move up. Third might be good enough. Second, certainly a win contender here. Sand Devil, and you're getting a big price, 8-1. Okay, now and by the sheet numbers, Sand Devil not as fast as Captain Cook, but did run it. Actually, the fastest race this one has run was at a sprint distance, putting up a 3-5. Then after that, 5-4. Last race 6. We had the stumble. We forgive it there. The only thing, the problem with this one. This one's best chance is to go gate to wire. This one's gate to wire. Okay. I don't know. I definitely like Sand Devil more so to win than the 5. But I think the 5 is fast enough. Has never finished worse than second, and that was with a stumble. So I'd go a little inclined to go a little less with Sand Devil on top, but second. Would I use Sand Devil as a key? Maybe if you want to get a little greedy, you can, and hope for one of the big bombs leave maybe a try key for first or second, maybe even a double key. But Sand Devil, definitely a contender. We're going to go down to number 6. Now, here's one. Hill Road was expected to be a big one for Chad Brown. Scratched out, ended up running a fever. So Hill Road out of the mix, out of the race. Out of the Derby, he's not going to be a Derby. He's not going to be in the Derby. He had finished third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, 101 Brisnet. Big hope for Chad Brown out of Quality Road, 350K Colt. Oh, geez. Even Lemon Drop Kid on the dam side, Joel Rosario, closer who would have fit the race like a glove, 9-2. Gone. Hill Road out of this race. Now, what about number 7, Todd Pletcher? It looks like this might be the year where Todd Pletcher doesn't get a Derby entry. And Grande, one of his a couple of chances left to get in there this year. He brings Grande in here with Mike Rapoli, the owner, the Rapoli stable. Big shot, hometown guy. Made a fortune with that vitamin water, and also now in horse racing has of course, the the owner of Fierceness, and Forte the year before that, gets him in the big races, and this one Grande going there. But you know what? By the speed figures, especially by the Brisnet and the Thorograph, they're a little kinder to him, but he's a front runner, and he's not going to be as fast as the other early. He puts up his numbers at Gulfstream Park, making his first start in New York. Did win at the 1.125 miles, which is big. Okay, you know we can get the distance. And he's won pretty comfortably by 2.5 lengths, each to 2 for 2. So now he's making his first start coming out of an optional claim. Had Johnny V up the last 2 races. Now he gets Dylan Davis. As good as Dylan Davis has been improving, he is no Johnny V. So you get a jockey switch. You have other horses that are faster by the sheet numbers and also by the Brisnet. 4th place or below here, folks. Maybe 4th. The good thing, and he's going to be part of the pace stool also. He's not as fast. He does have the breeding, 300K, colt out of Curlin, so you got it there going on. Certainly know he can get the distance, the 1.125 miles. He's done it before. If you want to go a little deeper in the tries, watch the board on this one. I see it as I don't like him in the try. Okay. Now, horse number 8, moving right along. Okay, workouts, nothing. He's not even working out. He has some nice workouts, some bullets, but not around here. Okay, we go to Passion Rules. Brad Cox in the race. Who's who of trainers? What do we think about this one? Passion Rules, Kendrick Cormouche riding this one for the first time. 40K colt, okay, out of Fresno Fire. Blast from the past. And we're going to go down here to that one. No. I prefer, he's 3 for 3. That's wonderful. He comes out on an optional claim, 200K at Oaklawn. The connect, the breeding, the Thurgraph is too slow. He's running 7s. We talked about Captain Cook down in the 2 range, and even Sand Devil in the 3 range. And no. And 12-1, I see why Grande is favored over Passion Rules. I don't like try, no way at all. Black Bear Claw Necklace. Now, here the other thing with Bear Claw Necklace, what do I see this one doing? Opens 50-1. Saffie Joseph Jr., another great trainer. He spots him here at Aqueduct well. 4 races, 2 wins in a second. Right? In the money, first, second, 75% of the time. Ramiro Maraf, no. He loses his top jock, Zayas, but he's just too slow and very ambitiously placed. He's down there slow as one of the others, one of the slowest. He might finish last with the other, but he's never missed the board. And here's the thing about Bear Claw Necklace. He is another one of the speeds in here. So already we got 6 of them to be part of the front end of this race. So Bear Claw Necklace, no way, just part of maybe somebody that upsets the apple cart for one of the other speeds. We've got to see who's going to jump out front in this race. That remains a mystery because Sand Devil looks like the one that is most likely to go and has a history of going to the front, but it might be Rodriguez this time. Captain Cook, I don't expect him to go to the front. I expect him to be very close. That's the way he's been doing it, and that's the way Rick Dutro, and I don't think he's going to upset the apple cart and try and change things here when he has a lot of other early speeds to knock each other off and open the door wide for Rick. And speaking of Rick, we move to number 10, McAfee. Very interesting entry. Did run in the Gotham for Rick. This one is a full half brother to none other than Torpedo Anna, horse of the year. Rick likes what he's very happy with this horse, and did after a layoff from November, ambitiously comes back after a basically December, January, February. It comes off a 3-month layoff after coming in second at Churchill Downs. Enters this one, McAfee, in the Gotham, where he did finish 9th. I'm not sure, 5th. 5th. That's kind of respectful. I'm not sure what happened. He got stuck wide. A 5th place finish, comes in over there, gets a couple of points, whatever. I'm not sure, but this one has moved forward in every race. You know, for Rick to enter this one in a Gotham, a G3, after a 3-month layoff with only 2 races under his belt, that tells you how much Rick thinks about McAfee. McAfee opens at 20-1. And that's another derby shot for Rick. A long shot, really. You've got to. But if this race breaks down, and this one was finished way behind. He was beaten by Sand Devil soundly. I mean, he's going to have to jump forward. What do I do? Maybe, considering the closing kick, and this one has a really nice stride if you watch his replays. This one, considering all the early speeds, I could see this one slipping maybe into third and boosting the price. Watch the board on this one. Make sure you're getting a fair price if you include him underneath in the tries. Can he jump all the way forward and all of a sudden win, considering all the speed in this race? We don't know. He's only had 3 races. So this one is kind of, you got the connections. It's got Eric Cancel up. He's never really had a top jock riding him. Maybe third or fourth. I don't know. Making the Derby, I would be completely surprised. I won't rule it out. Because if he slips into second place somehow, if all the speed breaks down and he improves, does have Uncle Mo on the damn side. I mean, keep an eye on this one, number 10. Your deep dives, maybe for use them maybe for third in there in your tries. Okay, now we move on. Number 11, we're just about through. Number 11, Statesman. Another name, who's who of racing. Shug McGahee, the beloved Shug. Just too slow. Has won its last 2. Been running at Tampa Gulfstream. I'm not gonna waste any more time on this one. I don't see this one in there at all. He could be in the bottom 3. So we got a lot of talented trainers in here. Omaha. Here's where it gets interesting. This one opens at 30-1. This one I certainly can see hitting the board. He was beaten by Captain Cook on February 1st in the Withers. He did finish third in that race. He was over 8 lengths back. I don't see this one winning, but what I do see is this one possibly, he's a closing type, possibly slipping into second and third, or certainly third if the speed breaks down. How many of these horses are going to keep that speed up all the way around the track for 1 1/8? That's why that opens the doors for ones like this one, Omaha. And what the Thoroughgraph does, or Ragozin, whatever, this one has a couple of races, comes out of ran a 5 in the last race at Colonial in mid-March. So they're spacing out the races nicely. Michael Gorman is for this one. Omaha. He has run at the track a couple of times. He's run at Aqueduct here. Has run at the distance, the 1 1/8, in that Withers where he finished third. And he's moving forward nicely. He's set up for a good race here. And Gorman, he's bringing it back here. Last 90 days. The trainer's hot the last 90 days. He's winning 25% over that span. It's coming back. Last race, March 15th. I see this one as fast enough to get into the exotics underneath. I don't see this one winning. Maybe you want to use it as a key. The regular, he gets the jockey that's ridden him every time, Raul Mena. Has done pretty well at this track. Raul here, 4 races, going back his 4 races at Aqueduct. He has a win, a second, and a third. So he's in the money 75%. Definitely a player in the trifecta. That's one of the things that makes this one interesting. That's as far as I'll go with that. He has faced Captain Hook Cook, beaten soundly by him by 8 3/4. Given all the speed in this race and given the excellent closing kick this one has, you could see the numbers If you can see my cursor over here by the LP, he's running in the mid to upper 90s, closing 96. And he's a board hitter. He's on the board 6 out of 7 career starts. At Aqueduct, 2 starts, a second and a third. And he has raced twice at this distance, and he has 2/3 at the distance. So kind of a proven commodity here at the track, and also reliability hitting the board, regular jockey all the time. I mean, Omaha, Raul Mena is the only jockey this horse knows. So there we go. What do I see happening here? And it does have the Thorograph numbers to definitely fit into the exotics in here in this race. Okay, how do I see this race shaping out? What are my plays going to be? Okay, I got my notes here on the side, so let me get back to the glasses and get back to the coffee, and I'll tell you who I like. Top choice here is Captain Cook. Top choice here is Captain Cook. I don't see this one finishing worse than second. That's it. You got to take a stand somewhere. I will key this one first, second, in trifectas. Okay, so I'm going to write it down. Number 2. The ones I'm going to use underneath. Okay. Underneath, I'll use Rodriguez, number 1. Let me bring these up. Let me bring this back up so you can see what I'm doing here. Rodriguez, number 1 for second. Okay, and I'm also going to construct Tiger 24. No. My Matoli. No. We'll use 5 underneath. Grande, Rapoli, I don't, Pletcher, I don't like that one for third. Passion Rules, no. Backlaw. McAfee. I'll throw him in the third spot at 20-1. Omaha, 12. I will use this one in the 4th spot, and I will also use in this 2nd spot. Oh, God. I'm just on the fence. Yeah, 30-1. So I'm looking at a try here of 2, 1, 5, 12, 1, 5, 10, 12. Let's back this up. What if the other closer, McAfee, jumps forward? I don't see him winning. That's it. I can go there. 2 over 1, 5, 10, 12, 1, 5, 10, 12. Now, if I put 2 second, who are the ones that could possibly win this race? Do we want to go the full? I mean, you could play this for 50 cents. Do you want to put all of them on top of that and reverse it? Do you want to add Grande to the 4th spot, just in case? Rapoli, Pletcher, undefeated, has gotten the distance. We don't know what to expect from him. If you want to spread, we could spread. 1, 5, 10, 12, 7. The other one I like is this. Or exacta. We can go this way also. Let me bring this up here. If we go two, 5, the only 2 I see beating them, really, He's 1-5 over 2. Over 1, 5, 10, 12. Maybe use Grande for third. Maybe you could spread with Grande, maybe. Let me get that up. All right, my tri-play, suggested tri-play is this. Here we go. All right, suggested try 2 over 1, 5, 10, 12, 1, 5, 10, 12, 7. All right. You could play for 50 cents, Sand Devil. If he's not favored, you're getting a gift here. I think he's going to come down. If you want to reverse it, just reverse it a little bit. You put 1, 5 on top, Sand Devil's second, and then 1, 5, 2 over 1, 5, 7, 10, 12. Tries. That's how I see this race shaping up. That's the value play. I don't think this is going to be a value play in multi-race plays because I think it's a narrow band of who's going to win this race. And I think Sand Devil, if you get 8 to 1 on Sand Devil, another way to play this, you want to do it and really spread, I'd probably go Sand Devil and Rice on top. I like those the best two, 1 and 5. Rodriguez, if you want to put that one on top as a favorite, shift coming here. I think this horse has been somewhat of a disappointment so far. So you got to take a stand somewhere. And I see the two locals as being the ones that get it done. If you want to do a try with 1, 5 on top, 2, 5 on top, then also have them for second and third. And you could spread a little bit underneath with the horses that I've mentioned here. You know, the others, the longer ones, 10 and 12 get in there, 10 and 12, and maybe the 7 for the third slot. You might make some money there with Sand Devil on top and getting one of those bobs in underneath. What do you think? Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. May the horse be with you.